The champagne glasses shook on the tables. The wind hit first. Then the sound, a deep, pounding roar that made everyone look up. "What the hell is that?" someone yelled. The helicopter dropped from the sky like something out of a movie. Women grabbed their dresses. Men shielded their eyes. The entire courtyard turned into chaos as the blade spun faster and faster, kicking up dust and napkins and flower petals. Madison screamed over the noise. "Is that a—" "It's a helicopter." Tyler shouted, laughing nervously. Who the hell shows up to a high school reunion in a helicopter? The aircraft touched down on the lawn. The doors opened, and out stepped Jordan Cole. The same kid they used to call invisible. The same kid they mocked for 10 years straight. The same kid they invited to this reunion just to laugh at him one more time. Except now, he wore a suit that cost more than their cars. His security team followed close behind. And he didn't look nervous anymore. He looked like he owned the world. Tyler's smile disappeared. Madison's mouth fell open. The entire class stood frozen as Jordan walked past them without saying a word. They spent 10 years laughing at him. Now they were about to learn who they were really laughing at. If you want to see what happens next, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the story. Let me take you back 10 years. Jordan Cole was 17 years old and the only black kid in his entire graduating class at Westridge Preparatory Academy, a private school where everyone else's parents were doctors, lawyers, or owned companies, where the parking lot looked like a luxury car dealership. Jordan's mom worked 2 jobs just to keep him there. She believed education was the only way out. So every morning, Jordan put on his uniform and walked into a place that never wanted him. They didn't say out loud at first, but he felt it. "You speak so well," one teacher told him during his first week. "You're so lucky to be here," another one said, like he didn't earn his spot. The students were worse. Tyler Brennan was the worst of them all. Rich, blonde, quarterback of the football team. His dad owned half the buildings in town, and Tyler made sure everyone knew it. He started calling Jordan Invisible in sophomore year. "Hey, Invisible, you gonna answer that question, or just sit there?" Tyler would say during class, and everyone would laugh. Jordan would shrink in his seat, staring at his desk, wishing the floor would swallow him whole. Madison Wells was just as bad. She was the kind of girl who smiled while she destroyed you. Pretty, popular, and cruel in the quietest ways. "You only got into AP classes because of affirmative action," she whispered to him once in the hallway, loud enough for her friends to hear. They all laughed. Jordan didn't respond. He never did, because what could he say? He was 1 against 50. One voice in a sea of people who saw him as a joke. The teachers never stopped it. They'd hear the comments and look the other way. Sometimes they'd even laugh along, like it was harmless fun. But it wasn't fun for Jordan. Every day felt like drowning. Every lunch period, he sat alone. Every group project, he was the last one picked. And when prom came around, no one even thought to ask him. He was invisible, just like they said. By senior year, Jordan had one goal: survive until graduation and never look back. The day he walked across that stage and got his diploma, he made himself a promise. He would never let anyone make him feel small again. 10 years later, Jordan was sitting in his office in Nairobi when his phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. A notification from the old class group chat. He hadn't checked it in years. Curiosity got the best of him. He opened it. 10-year reunion. Let's all get together and relive the glory days. June 15th at the Westridge Hotel. Everyone's invited. Jordan's stomach turned. He scrolled through the replies. Can't wait. This is going to be amazing. We should invite Jordan L. His finger froze on the screen. Yeah, let's invite him. Could be fun. Invisible returns. I bet he's still broke. Jordan felt his jaw tighten. They hadn't changed. Not even a little bit. For a moment, he thought about deleting the app and forgetting he ever saw it. But then something inside him shifted. He wasn't that scared kid anymore. He wasn't invisible. Jordan looked around his office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Awards on the walls. A team of 30 people working in the building below him. His tech company, Bridge Connect, had just been valued at over $50 million. He'd spent the last 10 years building something real, something that helped people. His platform connected small businesses in underserved communities to global markets. It gave people opportunities they never had before. People respected him now, not because of his skin color, not because of where he came from, but because of what he built. And yet, these people from high school still thought he was nothing. Jordan leaned back in his chair and made a decision. He was going to that reunion, not to show off, not to brag, but to prove something to himself, that their words didn't define him anymore. He typed a single reply in the group chat, "I'll be there." Within seconds, the responses came flooding in. "No way. This is going to be hilarious. Can't wait to see what he's up to now." Jordan put his phone down and smiled quietly. They had no idea what was coming. Let me tell you what happened after Jordan left that school. He got on a plane 3 months after graduation with a scholarship to a university in London. It wasn't full ride, but it was enough. His mom cried at the airport, told him to make her proud. He promised he would. London was different. People didn't treat him like a charity case. They didn't make jokes about his background or his accent. For the first time in his life, Jordan felt like he could breathe. He studied computer science and business, stayed up late in the library, worked part-time at a coffee shop to pay for food, made friends who actually liked him. But more than anything, he started dreaming. One night, he was video calling his mom back home. She told him about Mrs. Chun, the woman who owned the corner store in their neighborhood. She wanted to sell her products online, but didn't know how. "Nobody teaches people like us this stuff," his mom said sadly. That's when it hit him. There were millions of small business owners around the world who had great products but no way to reach customers. No one was building tools for them. Everyone was focused on the big companies. So Jordan decided to build something for the little guys. He started small, real small, just him and a laptop in his tiny dorm room, writing code until his eyes burned. He called his platform Bridge Connect. The idea was simple. Connect small businesses in places like Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America to buyers all over the world. No complicated fees. No gatekeepers. Just a bridge. It took 2 years before anyone noticed. Then one day, a small news site in Kenya wrote an article about him. Then another. Then a bigger one. Investors started calling. Jordan didn't want to sell out. He wanted to stay true to his mission. But he also knew he needed money to grow. He took meetings, pitched his vision, and slowly, carefully built something real. By year 5, Bridge Connect had over 10,000 users. By year 7, they hit 1 million. Last year, Forbes put him on their 30 under 30 list. And 2 months ago, a major investment firm valued his company at $53 million. Jordan didn't do it for the money. He did it because he wanted to prove something, that the kid they called invisible could build something they couldn't ignore. If you're loving the story so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Jordan flew back to the States 3 days before the reunion. He didn't tell anyone he was coming. He booked a quiet hotel under a different name and kept it himself. The plan was simple. Show up, make peace with his past, and leave. No drama. No spectacle. But life had other plans. On the second day, Jordan stopped at a gas station to grab a coffee. He was standing in line, minding his business, when he heard a loud, familiar voice behind him. "Yo, is that?" Jordan's heart sank. He turned around slowly. Tyler Brennan stood there in a polo shirt and expensive sunglasses, looking exactly the same as he did in high school. Same smug grin. Same arrogant posture. "Holy crap, at ISU." Tyler laughed, slapping Jordan on the shoulder. "Invisible? Man, I can't believe you actually came back." Jordan forced a smile. "Hey, Tyler." "Dude, you look the same," Tyler said, looking him up and down. "Still rocking that thrift store style, huh?" Jordan glanced down at his simple t-shirt and jeans. He dressed comfortable when he traveled. He didn't need to prove anything to anyone. "I'm good," Jordan said calmly. "You still taking Ubers everywhere?" Tyler laughed. Man, I just got a new Range Rover. Custom interior. You should see it. Jordan nodded. That's great. You should come check it out before the reunion, Tyler said, pulling out his keys and dangling them. Oh, wait. You probably can't afford the gas to follow me there. The cashier looked uncomfortable. A few other customers glanced over. Jordan felt that old feeling creeping back, that tightness in his chest, that voice in his head telling him to stay quiet, stay small, stay invisible. But then he remembered who he was now. He smiled calmly. I'll see you at the reunion, Tyler. Tyler laughed. Yeah, man. Can't wait. As Tyler walked out, still chuckling to himself, Jordan stood there for a moment. He paid for his coffee, walked outside, and sat in his rental car. Then he pulled out his phone and called his assistant, Maya. Hey, he said quietly. Change of plans. What do you need? Maya asked. Jordan stared at the gas station where Tyler's Range Rover was parked. I need the helicopter ready for Friday night. There was a pause. You sure? Maya asked. Jordan smiled. Yeah, I'm sure. Friday night came fast. The Westridge Hotel was exactly how Jordan remembered it. Fancy, expensive, the kind of place that made you feel poor just by walking through the doors. The reunion was set up in the courtyard. White tablecloths, string lights hanging from the trees, a bar in the corner, a DJ playing old songs from their high school days. Everyone was already there when the sun started to set. Madison stood near the entrance in a tight, red dress, greeting people like she was hosting the whole thing. Tyler was at the bar, surrounded by his old football buddies, laughing too loud at his own jokes. Did Jordan actually say he was coming? Someone asked. Yeah, he replied in the chat. Madison said, checking her phone. But I bet he chickens out. Or he shows up in some beat-up car. Tyler added, grinning. Man, this is going to be good. They all laughed. That's when they heard it. At first, it was just a low hum in the distance. People didn't pay attention. But then it got louder and louder. What is that? Someone asked, looking up. The wind picked up suddenly. Napkins flew off the tables. The string lights started swaying. Is that a helicopter? Madison shouted, holding down her dress. Everyone turned toward the sky. The black helicopter descended slowly, its blades roaring like thunder. The sound was deafening. People stumbled backward, shielding their faces from the dust and wind. Get back! One of the security guards yelled. The helicopter touched down on the lawn just outside the courtyard. The blade slowed. The door opened, and Jordan Cole stepped out. He wore a midnight blue suit, tailored perfectly to fit. His shoes were polished. His watch caught the light. Two security guards flanked him on either side as he walked toward the reunion. He didn't rush. He didn't smile. He just walked, calm and confident, like he'd done this 1,000 times. The entire courtyard went silent. Tyler's drink slipped from his hand and shattered on the ground. Madison's mouth hung open, frozen mid-sentence. Someone whispered, "No way." Jordan reached the entrance and nodded politely to the event coordinator. Jordan Cole, I'm on the list. She stammered, checking her clipboard with shaking hands. Why, yes. Welcome. He walked past Madison without looking at her. He walked past Tyler without saying a word. He walked through the crowd of people who used to laugh at him, and now they couldn't do anything but stare. Jordan found a table near the back, sat down, and calmly adjusted his cufflinks. The DJ didn't know what to do. The music had stopped. Everyone was still staring. Finally, someone started clapping. Then another person. Then the whole courtyard erupted in shocked applause. But Jordan didn't acknowledge it. He just sat there, looking completely unbothered. Tyler turned to his friends, his face red. What the hell just happened? Madison pulled out her phone, hands shaking. I need to find out who he is. They had no idea, but they were about to. The music started again, but nobody was really listening. Everyone kept glancing at Jordan's table, whispering to each other. Who does he think he is? That's so extra. He's definitely showing off. Tyler finished his second drink and slammed the glass down. I'm not letting this guy make a fool out of me. He walked over to Jordan's table with his usual cocky stride, his buddies following behind him. "Yo, invisible," Tyler said loudly, making sure everyone could hear. "Nice entrance, man. Did you rent that helicopter for the night, or what?" Jordan looked up slowly. His face was calm. "Hey, Tyler." "Seriously, dude, that was wild," Tyler continued, laughing. "But come on. We all know you're just trying to impress people. What? You hit the lottery or something?" Jordan didn't answer. He just took a sip of his water. Tyler leaned in closer. "Let me guess. You're probably in debt up to your eyeballs, right? That suit's probably rented. The helicopter's probably your boss's." A few people nearby started listening. Tyler was putting on a show. "You can dress it up all you want," Tyler said, smirking. "But we all know who you really are. You're still the same scared kid who couldn't even—" "Tyler," Jordan interrupted, his voice quiet but firm. "I'm not here to argue with you." Tyler laughed. "Oh, so now you got a backbone?" "That's new." Madison walked over, her heels clicking on the stone ground. She put a hand on Tyler's shoulder. "Tyler, stop." Then she turned to Jordan with a smile. "Jordan, oh my God, you look amazing. I almost didn't recognize you." Her tone was sweet, but Jordan could hear the fakeness underneath. "Thanks," he said simply. "So what have you been up to?" Madison asked, sitting down uninvited. "Are you, like, working in tech or something? I heard the tech industry is really big right now." "Something like that," Jordan replied. "That's so cool," Madison said, twirling her hair. "You know, I always thought you were smart. I mean, you were always so quiet, but like, in a mysterious way." Jordan almost laughed. She was rewriting history, right in front of him. "You called me affirmative action in junior year," Jordan said calmly. Madison's smile froze. "What? No, You did," Jordan said, "in the hallway, by the lockers. You said I only got into AP classes because of affirmative action." Her face turned red. "Jordan, I was a kid. I didn't mean—" "It's fine," Jordan said. "I just want you to remember before you try to rewrite the past." Madison stood up quickly. "I was just trying to be nice." "Sure," Jordan said, taking another sip of water. She walked away, embarrassed. Tyler stood there, looking like he wanted to say something, but for once, he had nothing. That's when someone shouted from across the courtyard. "Oh my God, I know who he is." Everyone turned. A guy named Derek was holding up his phone, his eyes wide. "Jordan Cole, Bridge Connect. He's the CO." Whispers exploded. "Wait, what? The tech guy? Are you serious?" Derek kept reading from his phone. He was on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list. His company is worth over $50 million. The energy in the courtyard shifted instantly. People who ignored Jordan all night suddenly wanted to talk to him. People who laughed at the idea of him coming to the reunion were now scrambling to Google his name. Tyler's face went pale. "That's impossible." Madison stared at her phone, scrolling frantically. Then she saw it. A Forbes article with Jordan's picture, a TechCrunch feature, an interview on a major news site. It was all real. "Oh my God," she whispered. Jordan didn't move. He didn't smile. He didn't gloat. He just sat there, watching them realize who he'd become. And honestly, that was enough. Within minutes, Jordan's table was surrounded. People he hadn't spoken to in 10 years suddenly wanted to be his best friend. "Jordan, man, I always knew you'd do something big. Dude, we should catch up sometime. I'm in tech too. Jordan, do you remember me? We sat next to each other in history." Jordan stayed polite, but he saw through every single one of them. Madison came back. Her whole attitude changed. "Jordan, I am so sorry about earlier. I was just nervous. You know how reunions are." "It's fine," Jordan said. "No, really," she pressed. "We should get coffee while you're in town. I'd love to hear about your company." "I'm sure you would," Jordan said, his voice flat. Tyler stood in the corner, watching everything fall apart. His buddies had abandoned him to go talk to Jordan. Madison was practically throwing herself at the guy she used to mock. He downed another drink and walked outside. Jordan saw him leave. Part of him felt bad, but a bigger part of him felt free. Then something unexpected happened. A guy named Marcus approached Jordan's table. Marcus was one of the quieter kids in high school. Never bullied Jordan, but never stood up for him either. "Hey, Jordan," Marcus said softly. "Can I talk to you for a second?" Jordan nodded. "Sure." Marcus sat down, looking uncomfortable. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry." Jordan blinked. "For what?" "For not saying anything," Marcus said. "I saw what they did to you. The jokes, the names, all of it, and I never said a word. I was scared they'd turn on me too, and that's not an excuse. I should have been better." Jordan stared at him for a long moment. Then he nodded. "I appreciate that." "I mean it," Marcus said. "You didn't deserve any of that." Jordan felt something shift inside him. This was what he came for. Not the applause, not the shock, but this actual honesty. "Thank you," Jordan said quietly. Marcus shook his hand and walked away. A few other people tried to apologize after that, but Jordan could tell they didn't mean it. They were just trying to look good, trying to cover themselves now that they knew who he was. But he didn't call them out. He just nodded and let them talk. Because at the end of the day, their opinions didn't matter anymore. He'd already won. An hour later, Jordan stood up. The room noticed immediately. People stopped talking, watching him. He walked to the front of the courtyard where the event organizer stood. "Excuse me," Jordan said. "Can I settle the bill for tonight?" She looked confused. "The bill?" "For the whole event," Jordan said. "Food, drinks, everything. I'll cover it." Her eyes went wide. "Sir, that's over $15,000. Jordan pulled out his card. "That's fine." Gasps spread through the crowd. Madison whispered to someone, "Is he serious?" Tyler watched from the doorway, his jaw tight. The organizer processed the payment, her hands shaking. "Thank you so much, Mr. Cole." Jordan smiled. "No problem." He turned to face the crowd. Everyone was staring at him, waiting to see what he'd say. He took a breath. "I didn't come here tonight to show off," Jordan said, his voice steady. "I came here to prove something to myself. That the kid you used to laugh at doesn't exist anymore." The room was dead silent. "Some of you were cruel to me," Jordan continued. "Some of you just stood by and watched. And some of you actually apologized tonight, and I respect that." He looked around at all of them. "I don't need you to think better of me now," Jordan said. "I just hope that the next time you see someone who's different, someone who doesn't fit in, you remember this moment. And maybe, just maybe, you treat them better than you treated me." No one said a word. Jordan nodded once. "Take care of yourselves." He walked toward the exit. His security team followed. The helicopter was already running, the blades spinning slowly. Jordan climbed inside and sat down. Through the window, he could see everyone standing in the courtyard, watching him leave. Tyler stood at the edge, his arms crossed, his face unreadable. Madison had tears in her eyes. Marcus gave a small wave. Jordan didn't wave back. He just closed his eyes as the helicopter lifted off the ground. The courtyard got smaller and smaller beneath him. The people who once made him feel worthless now looked like tiny dots. And for the first time in 10 years, Jordan felt completely at peace. Sometimes the best revenge isn't hurting the people who hurt you. It's becoming someone they can't touch, someone they can't break, someone they'll remember forever. Jordan Cole didn't go back to prove he was better than them. He went back to prove he was free. And that's the real victory. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more stories like this coming your way. Thanks for watching.